What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? How goes it? It's your boy Marshulartz here once again. Just chilling, just doing stuff. Today we're gonna be drawing some Penguinboy stuff as usual. And yeah, appreciate you guys hopping in here. Appreciate anybody being in here. Gonna give it a couple minutes, let people join in, and kind of go from there. I feel like I might have maybe I didn't draw that. Oh well. Let's go to something a little bit more calmer. What up, Yosh? What's going on? You know, it's production. What up, man? Penguinboy is definitely going to be. I don't want to say like a super long series, but it's definitely going to go on for a while. I'll say that. It was never really meant to be a long series, but I'll just say recently I added some things, made it a little bit longer. That's pretty much it. What up, Drag Fang? He said, I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you. Hey, man, it's okay. Stuff happens, you know? Life happens. Life goes on. Cool to see an artist inspired by Oda. It's rare to see. 100%, man. You know, I've always been inspired by Oda since I was a wee lad, you know? It's one of those things where it's definitely not common. Most people are inspired by Bleach or Naruto. Oda was my biggest inspiration creating manga since I so. LOL, I went drag on that. So can't wait on light for that on chapter 1. Yeah, well, guys, today is October 23rd, which means Psych-Yo drops today at 5 p.m. Psych-Yo drops chapter 3. Drops today at 5 p.m. So get ready for that. That is definitely coming in hot. But yeah, Light On is definitely coming about that. What about his assistant who made Ultimate Extras Kyoshi? I do like that manga as well. I'm actually going to be doing a full-on review of that manga along with a bunch of other ones. So yeah, you guys are going to get to see some content. We're going to do the streams, of course, but you guys are definitely going to get to see some content outside of the streams. And I think you guys will like all that as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. Ultimate Extras Kyoshi is a very fun story. I definitely think there's a lot to it that a lot of people overlook it because they're like, oh, it's silly, it's goofy. Bro, he was an assistant to Oda. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you're really gonna be mad because he was an assistant to Oda? Hey, Marsh, how many water drop techniques are there, and how many does Alba know? There's an infinite amount. You'll just have to wait in the story and see, man. You just have to wait and see. You will have to wait and see. Coming up with those are really fun. Coming up with the water droplet techniques for Alba and crew, not Alba and crew, Alba and like other people who know them. That was really fun. I'll say that. There's definitely a ton that Alba knows. But some of them are conditional. Let me say that. Some of them are conditional. You ain't just out here doing these willy-nilly, you know? And that's the way it works. People have asked me too, like, would you ever get assistants? And I mean, like, the answer is always going to be yeah, because who doesn't want an assistant to help them do like backgrounds or other things? Like, it's funny how in the indie manga space, like a lot of people parade around like, oh, I did this thing. It's like, yeah, you did the thing. I'm happy, but like, it's going to change if you get assistants. And I think that conversation's not being talked about enough, where assistants really are the lifeblood to help mangaka create manga. Not that they can't create it without them, but it definitely takes that time. Trying to give more character to my backgrounds. What is better than fighting style? Because it feels like Fishman Karate. No, it's not Fishman Karate. It's nothing like Fishman Karate. I'll say that. What inspired the fighting style is Wing Chun, but it's not exactly a one-for-one for Wing Chun. There's a lot of elements that surround other fighting styles, but Wing Chun is probably one of my favorite fighting styles, and that's something that inspired it. So how will the next arc of Penguinboy start? The next arc of Penguinboy is going to be Alba, Zamarian, Yuri, and some guy named Cal. You guys have not met Cal, but if you've been keeping track of the chapters, then you obviously know of Cal. You obviously have heard people talk and mention Cal. So, yeah. That's how it's going to start. I think you guys will be in for a big surprise. I've changed a lot of stuff for Penguinboy these past couple months, man. I've changed a lot and added a lot. I'll say that, and fleshed out a lot of things. Also, talk about assistant to help indie manga is actually a good idea because it makes the work a lot easier. I do think so, man. I think the assistance to other things, like, it makes the work a lot easier, but it's one of those things that, like, you know, a lot of people aren't really hip to yet. You know, they're not hip to this aspect of work. It takes a lot of work to have assistants because you gotta. It's not like you gotta train them, but you gotta at least get them used to your style. You know, you definitely have to talk to them and tell them, hey, look, this is okay, this is not okay, this needs to be here, this needs to be here. Like, there's a lot about having assistants that is a lot like having that's a lot about like managing people at any given job. You know. But yeah, be sure to check out Saikyo today. Saikyo drops. Saikyo drops today. And I'm thoroughly excited, man. Just super excited to see that happen and to see it go on. I do enjoy it. I don't think I'm ready for assistance yet. I mean, it's not like I can't lead people or tell people what I'm looking for. And I think it would definitely be a great help if I had an assistance or an assistant even. But, you know, I'm going to make a video about this sooner or later too. There's just not a lot of people who I think can actually create manga. I'm going to release a video today going over chapter 1 of D.D. Marks' Ruthless Render, right? And I'm going to release that video, and I think a lot of people will start to see how I create manga and how I think about manga where it's concerned. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to making manga. Obviously, there's mangaka in Japan, and there's other people who sell things. But when it comes to the application and the care and all the things when it comes to these things, I really enjoy the aspect of manga, right? And so you guys will see that when I drop this video today. And yeah, I think you guys will be thoroughly interested. You guys will be thoroughly interested. That's going to be the cool part about all of this. Also, Marsh, your backgrounds always look amazing. Man, I appreciate that. I really do. The backgrounds I drew for chapter 11 are some of my favorite backgrounds that I drew. When Zamarian was fighting that boar, that was some I just had a blast drawing all those trees, all the leaves, the bushes, the whole nine. It was definitely hard though. Is Cal a human or Rathian? Cal is a human. Cal is a human, and I think you know, when you guys, I think a lot of people like Cal as a character. Cal is a character, man, who I had a lot of fun crafting, and I had to go over Cal's iteration of who I wanted him to be. So yeah, like I said, if you guys are paying attention, you'll see the townspeople talking about Cal, and if you go back through the chapters, especially, you know, you'll see who's saying it specifically, and yeah, it's gonna make sense. D.D. Mark has mad art, but story is very lacking, sadly. Here's the thing: I think the story is okay. I think the story has to build. I think it does its job, but it's less to me. It's the story, but it's not just the story. It's about how indie artists approach storytelling as a whole. You know what I mean? And in the video, I'll kind of go over this. It's about a 20 to 30 minute video. It's a longer video, and it's because I'm doing a review. And when I go over all his chapters, I'm definitely going to be doing like a good length for all this because I really want to get into it. And if you tap into the video, you will learn stuff about creating manga, not just the aspect of drawing it, like creating manga. There's a whole fucking thing about it. Well, it gets better. Yeah, I think it gets better. It's just like there's understandings of manga, like really there's understandings of manga that you have to create better shit. You know, latest chapter of Rules Render is finally getting better though, but still, true. But it took too long. I mean, it's one of those things where if it's his first series he's taking it seriously, it's gonna get better over time. It just is, you know. He doesn't have an editor like they do in Japan. He doesn't have anyone coming to his beck and call and saying, hey, you know, you got to change this up. You got to create a rival character. He's learning all this stuff on his own by either reading manga or looking at manga or doing something. So it's like, that's where I give a lot of the indie creators the benefit of the doubt. And I talk about it with my team constantly, is the big thing is no one's going to just know what to look up unless, of course, they start looking stuff up. And even someone like myself, man, I didn't really know what to look up when I wanted to learn how to actually draw manga, right? Or not draw manga, but create manga. I think how to draw manga is everywhere, but how to create manga is like almost nowhere. Like you legitimately, hang on. I'm gonna, because I want to grab this for you guys, so you guys can actually see what the fuck I'm talking about. By the way, peep the fit. I got the Luffy, the Luffy fit, and then I got the one piece pants. You know, got the one piece pants, the Gomu Gomu no, or no, I think that's Ace's fruit. No, that's a Gomu Gomu no. But yeah, anyway, I'm a big One Piece fan if you didn't know. Anyway, this book here gives you the whole game. First and foremost, we've never had anything like this. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think manga theory and practice is great, right? No. I think manga theory and practice is great. I think this is a good book. It teaches you a lot. To me, it's kind of boring, but it teaches you exactly what you need, right? Then if you go to this one, which is Shonen Jump's Guide to Making Manga, this gives you a lot of scoop, like a lot of things visually. And this is what most of us Americans need, is something visually, right? If you don't have this book, you need to get this book. You need to read it. I've read this, bro. I have highlighted sections. I've highlighted sections in this book. I highlight sections in this book because that's how much making manga means to me, right? And then on top of that, this book, bro, this book is a game changer. And it's not even like if you learn these things from these books, right? If you learn these things from these books, you don't have to follow them one for one. These are definitely things that are going to make your art better. These are definitely things that are going to make your storytelling better, because it's going to show you stuff about page composition and everything else, right? It's gonna show all that stuff. So if you actually take the time, I bet I gotta switch back over here. If you actually take the time to practice it and to consciously put it into practice, you're going to get better. And I think that's the thing. DD Mark is I think that's the thing with DD Mark, White Manga, every other manga artist I can think about. That's something that a lot of us didn't do at a certain time. I didn't start doing this until like 5 months ago, where it's like you consciously have to put a lot of these techniques into play. And it's one of those things, man, where like it takes serious dedication to it takes serious thought process to like really do that shit. You know, it's not easy. But whereas, like, let's say 10 years ago, we didn't have information like that. We just had to read manga and fucking slum it out. You know what I mean? We had to read manga to really, really just slum it out and go, yeah, I mean, I think this is what the story is doing or saying. But now we're actually having access to different books and different things like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to make a video on that as well, where I kind of go into that aspect of it, right? Because it's like, I don't like that people are like, well, I don't know where to look, bruh. There's no way people are having deep dives about all this other shit online, but you can't look up how to create manga, not how to draw manga, how to create manga. There's plenty of Japanese mangaka who have a YouTube channel, who have Twitter accounts, who have these things, and they discuss making manga. Like, you can translate this shit, bro. It's one of those things where like you got to be able to put this shit into practice. You have to be able to put this into practice. And if you don't, you're gonna end up falling behind. I don't want to create like the Americans. I wanna take the techniques that the Japanese have, and I want to apply my American filter through it. Because everybody likes manga for a reason that's from Japan. There's a reason they like it. You know? Let me see. Oh, what up, 901 Base Sports? I don't know if you follow me or if you're new here. Well, what up? Appreciate you being here. I got the same book. It takes a long time to master the techniques. 100%. 100%. It takes a long time to master techniques. And all it is repetition. That's really all it is. They like the style. Yeah. Wait, so Alter and Monaco won't be joining Alba? What do you mean? Whatever so do you mean? Also, Drag, the thing about drawing backgrounds, man, is really just understanding what you're doing. Like, drawing is less about knowing everything before you start and just fucking drawing, bro. A lot of this shit comes to you in time. I'm gonna just be real. Like, a lot of this stuff comes to you in time. I'm making this manga because I love to make manga and I want it to be successful within my own realm. I'm not worried about a YouTube analyst. I'm not worried about anybody coming and reading my story and telling me that it's trash. I'm just worried about getting my story out there and allowing people to see things and growing. And growing. That's like the big thing for me. But yeah, no, Psycho chapter 3 drops today. Shout out to Yuki, man. He's working really hard on his manga. For those of you who are new here, who are in the comment section and don't know, so I run a manga publication company, something I've always wanted to do since third grade. And it's something where, like, man, I just have this love for the creation and the topic of it. So like, I just wanted to make a company. So when COVID hit, when COVID did hit, I did make a company an LLC registered with the government here in Ohio, and yeah, I just made it happen. I got 6 other employees. I got 9 employees, but only 6 of them are mangaka. One's a light novelist as well, and yeah, we got shit in the works, man. If you haven't seen anything and you guys are interested in seeing stuff, I would definitely say go check out our Lubento Connects, where we do a showcase. Like Nintendo, like the Nintendo Directs. We do something called a Lubento Connect, where our artists get to connect with you guys directly, kind of tell you about their projects and see what's going on. It's really fun. We always have a lot of fun doing it. They won't follow Alba on his journey. Like, yeah, no, they're gonna be joining. You've been watching Gachu Akira? If so, you like the manga style as one of the best? So I do like, so you know, I have been watching it here and there. I want to watch it more with my fiance, so I stopped, and I want to watch it with her so that way she can actually see it too. And Gachu Akira has such a unique style, and I think them coming from Okubo really showcases like what they picked up, what elements, because they picked up a lot of gnarly elements. And I do like that it's a duo tag team of graffiti and art, man. Like they really outdid themselves with a lot of like how they do their productions and stuff like that. But Gachu Akira is amazing. It's very talented, bro. Just like Gachu Akira's art is so messy and surreal, but it's the complete opposite of something like Goku Rakugai. Goku Rakugai is like amazing with his art. It's so clean and beautiful, and it's just like really cool. By the way, read manga here. Yoshi Hiroda has said it. Yeah, man. You guys want to go see? I haven't actually done the Shilly yet, which I appreciate you guys even being here. But yeah, you can actually go pick up the first copy of Penguinboy, my manga. It is over 230 pages of goody goodness. And yeah, is this right here. It's got the binding to it, you know, stuff like that. It's got the back of it as well. And yeah, it's the manga. I got some cool artwork in there for you guys. I redid a lot of pages and stuff like that. But yeah, you can go buy it over at lumento.net. You can go read some other stories by the team on there as well. You can go read Aku Ronin by the talented #1 manga. You can go read Recusant by the talented Storm Rave as well. And yeah, man, we're just honestly chillaxing. And yeah, we got some other stuff. But yeah, Psycho drops tonight at 5 p.m. EST. And I'm stupid excited about it, man. I'm stupid excited about it. Yo, what up, Speed? Speak of the man himself. What up, King J? How are you? Everything is well. Hope everything is well. Honestly, one of the best things about manga is that your art style is unique and is not restricted to a certain style. Yeah. What is your manga production schedule like? Oh man, this is an interesting question. So it depends. So right now I have a chapter that I'm drawing that is about 51 pages long. And the goal with that is to kind of get that out. So I normally do 1 to 2 pages a day. And I sleep 8 hours because I work a full-time job. So I work a 40-hour job, going in that boy for 8 hours a day. And outside of the job, I pretty much just come home. I'm either hanging out with my fiance for a couple hours. No, when I come home, it's around 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I'll stay up for maybe an hour or two. Sometimes I'll get drawing done. Sometimes I'll just relax. And then I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up. And afterwards, I will get right to work. I'll brush my teeth. I'll eat some food, take my dog out. And then I'll get right to work. And I'll usually be working up until I go to work. And then even at work, I'm drawing. Like I have my iPad that I take to work with me, and I'm cranking out whatever pages I can on breaks and stuff like that. Outside of the production schedule of my manga, you know, I am always looking at my team's work as well. So, you know, we have Nameless that's coming out by the amazing artist and writer, and he's in here as well. #1 manga. You know, we have Nameless that he's working on, so I'm always talking with him about that stuff, checking in with him, and then we have our Excalibur by Storm Rave. I'm always checking in with him, seeing what's kind of going on. We're always talking about story stuff. And then outside of that, I'm just working. Like, so how you're seeing now. Whenever I'm doing stuff on YouTube, it's a little bit slower pace, but you know, it's I still try to go. So if I go silent for a little bit, it's because I'm trying to like lock in and get some pages done. Because if I had assistants, bro, this whole process would be like way easier. Uh, but really, my schedule is I do get a full 8 hours of sleep, and since we're a monthly publication, it's a lot easier. You know, I never want to. For me personally, I never want to go bi-weekly or weekly because that's too dangerous to your health. It can be. Some people can handle it. I'm just one of those people who I think I could handle it, but I don't want to even try. It's just not something for me. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of like a gloss overview of like my production schedule. Hopefully that makes sense for you, because it's like, you know, drawing manga consistently is always something that is if you don't draw, you kind of lose the ability to kind of see the pages. As you draw more pages, it's like unlocking the Sharingan, where it's like you start looking at everyday life objects. Like, so when I'm at work, I look at factory objects and I start breaking them down. In my head, those objects kind of like come apart, and I'm like seeing individual bolts and seeing individual things and being like, oh, okay, so that's how I would do it. That's how I do this. That's how I draw this. And it's like it just helps you see things in 3D space. I know that may not make sense to some people, but it makes sense to me. Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Cool. Just kind of showcase a little bit of shadow behind them. Oh, what up, Malik? I didn't even know you were here. What up, dog? What up? Well, if you're still here. What up, what up, what up, what up? Um, Appreciate that, Yoshi. Dragfing, one of my favorite indie art styles are Spoon, Penguinboy, and Wallacina. Spoon. Is Spoon a Saturday M one? I think Spoon is a Saturday M story, correct? And then what is Wallacina again? I feel like you've shared that to me, Drag. Yeah, what up? What up, yo? What are some of your favorite aspects? What are some of your favorite aspects of each year's Unlimited, both released and unreleased? No spoilers. Only spoilers here, buddy. So, favorite thing about Penguinboy is just how adventurous it feels. It feels like it's like a foreign entity, if you will. It feels like it's not supposed to be there. And I think we have this joke within. Obviously, we have this joke within the team where one person is the residential Oda fan, we have a residential Bleach fan, we have a residential Naruto fan, and the joke is like, oh, haha, like you're the Oda guy, so you do wacky and crazy. But honestly, I think that's what I do best. Is I'm allowed to be very freeing as an artist and artistic style, and I feel like that's something I really do good. So the biggest thing about Penguinboy is it just feels so freeing and so random. It feels like anything could happen. And that's just how it feels when you read the story. It just feels like, oh, 1 minute Alba's fighting a giant lion guy on his home island, and then the next he's fighting anthropomorphic pug. You know what I mean? And it's just funny. It's just cool. It's hype. Where Aku Ronin is concerned, I really think it brings in a lot of traditional values of like Ronin, the Bushido samurai way. And I know I could be speaking ill or speaking out of place, but it really just feels more traditional. And I think that's something I really like. I like the traditional feel of when I read it. I like how the characters present themselves. I really enjoy some of the artistic decisions taken when it comes to the action as well. I think that you really did good on that part. I just overall like the feel of that story. Outside of that one, when it comes to Recusant, I think Recusant has a way of feeling like the old Western type of Vash the Stampede vibe. I think that's something that I really enjoyed. Is it feels like it's more political in the beginning, but then turns on its head and makes it something that's more like, hey, this is still about people. You know what I mean? This is still about people at the end of the day. So it really brought it home for me, where it's like, the art's good, the story direction is good. I enjoyed the paneling, especially the roller coaster scenes. I was there for most of the stuff he did for where the Stormwave did for the roller coaster scenes. So I just think that it was really cool seeing him draw those. And I think, it had a lot of heart and spunk to it. So yeah, I just like that it started off political and then became something more, when it comes to Psycho just feels so much like something out of a Japanese scroll, with the way that Yuki presents it. Even the presentation of the pages feels like that hard handbrush feel. Yuki has a very beautiful style. He does a lot of foreground background blurring, which is vastly different than anything from Penguinboy, Aku Ronin, Recusant, and even Light On. A Psycho has such a vibrant style in terms of its paneling, and just even how he draws his background people. It makes me feel like I'm playing a Persona 5 game in some cases. You know what I mean? Like, it really does make me feel like I'm playing a Persona 5 game. And I like that feeling of story. When it comes to Nameless, without giving any spoilers, Nameless of itself, I just enjoyed the story so far. And I can't give anything away, but I think a lot of people are going to really, really love Nanashi and the surrounding cast. I think that story brings an element of edge and grief that we haven't seen at Lubento yet. I think it's going to bring that level of emotion that we haven't seen yet in a different way than what our Excalibur is going to bring. And I think that I'm really looking forward to and I would say even just with Nameless, I'm really looking forward to the character interactions, and I want to see how people are going to see that, because I think outside of Penguinboy, Nameless does a very good job with its cast, and that's all I'll say on that. I really enjoy just the emotional side of it and just how the camaraderie works. When it comes to our Excalibur has just this, it's a weird, vibrant, like, adventure sense. It's like, it's grounded, but it's vibrant when it comes to its characters that it chooses to focus on. Like, you know, our Excalibur has been out before, but, you know, with Stormrave learning everything he's learned under Lunbento, where, you know, Kisho Tenketsu is concerned, Fukudashi, page retention, all these things, he really has showcased a lot of story elements that I didn't see in the previous iterations in this new version. So I think that's where the vibrance kind of brings out, you know, when we're looking at Kayuma, when we're looking at Rakudo. And it really just showcases to me that this story is going to be rich, not just in its characters, but in its lore. So I'm really looking forward to the exploration of the lore when it comes to that, especially knowing what I know about the story, right? Let me see. Light On. Hang on, sorry, I'm like trying to draft this out really quick. Light On is an anomaly. I think people aren't ready for the type of horror he's doing, a type of occult, more so occult. I think a lot of people aren't ready for it because something like this in the independent space, I don't think has been presented. I'm looking forward to seeing people's reactions because it feels like a laid back occult, if that makes sense. Not that crazy stuff doesn't happen. We don't get to see crazy shit, but it feels more like an out of body experience when reading it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I don't know. I think all the series underneath Lunbento are gonna have a great run, and I think they all have great stuff, and they all bring something different and unique to the table. And we're all inspired by different stuff. You know, some of our guys live out of the country, Singapore, Malaysia, Spain, Italy, Portugal. Like, we have people who are working underneath Lunbento in different places of the world. And then there's a lot of us here in the States as well who work underneath Lunbento. And it's like, you know, being able to bring the cast of people together, you know, having our meetings and doing things like that is like really, really beautiful. It's a really beautiful thing. And it's always interesting to see what these guys are doing and how they're doing it. So yeah, I just think, like, you know, I think to answer your question, Speed, those are all my favorite aspects of the stories and just kind of what I've seen, especially thinking about it on the spot. You know, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. So yeah. Yeah, people in this era pretty prefer gritty / dark shonen. The wacky stuff is fading away in the public eye. Yeah, I think the wacky stuff is definitely fading away because One Piece is kind of taking center root in that. And there's not really any series that's doing wacky right now. I mean, you don't have anything that's like Bobo, or you don't have anything that is the reimagination of what is that manga? Gintama. You know, the closest thing you had to that was Golden Kamuy. And Golden Kamuy is not even really a gag or anything like that. It just had a lot of fucking funny elements to the story. So it's like, you're not really getting a lot of things like lighthearted within Shonen Jump right now, because a lot of people are preferring like more serious things. I mean, actually, that's a lie. You are getting some things that are good. If you look at or not good. You are getting some things that are kind of wacky. If you look at Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, that is completely wacky because that artist comes from being an assistant for Oda for like 6+ years. So if we're looking at things that are wacky, there are things that are coming out, and I think we are getting back to that, but it's one of those things where we're never going to fully get back to that because the landscape's changed. The landscape of manga has changed as usual, and when things change, everything changes and moves on. Yeah. Somebody did tell me I was weird for drawing the nipples on my characters, and I'm like, I think the nipples on characters is important. Just my thought. What is up, Ictus? What's up, brother? Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I am doing good, man. Yeah. Penguinboy gives that comeback for wacky stuff. Yeah, and I always will tell people like there's gonna be serious moments in Penguinboy, don't get me wrong, but I never want to stay on those serious moments for a crazy amount of time. I don't want to get I like the lightheartedness of things, and I like the goofy aspect of things. I like inserting jokes and things, and that's just something I really enjoy. How do I submit a story to Libento? Actually, in a couple months, I'm going to have something on the website that showcases to people how they submit to Libento. But really, it's as simple as sending in a one shot. If you have a one shot that is done where I can read your work and I can kind of go over how you do things sequentially, we can sit down and have a talk about stuff in the future, see if we want to go anywhere with you, and kind of go from there. Yeah. And I don't want anyone to mistake, like, he's being bougie. Is this? No, dude. Like, we choose people who can do this. We choose people who want to create manga. Everything we create goes from right to left, and whenever we do that, that's usually what I tell people. Is like, hey, we go right to left. We go primarily right to left. There is no other option. There's no left to right. There's no vertical. It's just right to left. That's it. Because that's how I grew up creating and reading it. I'm ready for Light On. The trailer got me hyped. Yeah, man. There's some more stuff coming. I'm really getting into Ultimate Extras. It's a fun series. Dude, it's super fun. That's why I want to go through and I want to talk about every chapter. So I'm going to reread every chapter from the beginning because I'm caught up to the series right now. I'm going to reread every chapter from the beginning and just kind of talk about it. I think the whole point is being able to just sit there and like chat about it. But yeah, I enjoy working on this. And like I said, if you haven't read my work, go read Penguinboy. So I created this story for those of you who don't know. I created Penguinboy because I wanted to learn how to actually create manga, not just draw it. And you're going to hear me say that a lot if you hop into my lives or you hop into everything, because there really is a difference between just how to draw manga and it looking good, and then how to actually do things like setting up your panels and stuff like that. So while the first chapter isn't super strong art visually, the story is at least there, and that's something that I will always say, hey, the story is there at least. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I can give you. The art isn't terrible, but it's one of those things where like, you know, it could be better. Um, and I'm okay. I'm never going to be one of those people who kind of go back and be like, oh, well, it needs to slap more, like it needs to do this. I'm gonna go redo my art 30. I'm gonna go redo my chapters 37 times. Like, nah, it is what it is, bro. I am excited to read a couple other stories though. Like, I want to see what's going on with like this new story that everybody hates, which is like, you guys know that that African story that was going to be releasing first volume, or the chapters after that. Ugly art augment is invalid. Look how One Punch Man started, bro. Fuck One Punch Man. Look at Shin Chan. Look at well, not fuck One Punch Man's art style. Look at Shin Chan. Look at fucking Mob Psycho 100, the manga. Like, there's so many things about that that's like, if people looked at that, they'd be like, oh my god, this is ugly, blah blah blah. It's like, dog, it's ugly, sure, but like, you can't sit here and be that super picky about this shit. There's also am I streaming just the background? Oh no, okay. There's also a type of manga called Heitaomi, which means bad but good. It taught me not to miss out on good stories just because the art might not be Araki level or whatever. Yeah, not everything has to be like super serious, super. Oh, this is like the best thing ever since sliced bread, bro. There's some stories that can have. There's some stories that can have whatever art, and it still be great. It still be amazing. You know. Okay. All right, we're gonna listen to this. Sorry, not sorry, guys. I just want to hear this. I haven't heard it in a minute. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. All right, sorry about that. All right. Yeah, bro. How to play it. Yo, showing the love. That's what it is, man. I think I did that for 02. I always have to go back and this is why you always have to go back and reference stuff and see how you did things before. Because now my brain's trying to play tricks on me and say, you didn't do this. And I for fucking sure did. Does anybody else really have that same problem? Where it's like you just you try to remember what you did last chapter and you're just like, what did I even do? Well, friend, if you have that problem, boy, do I have a solution for you. I'm not sponsored by them, nor am I doing anything, but you should use PureRef. That's my goal. You should just use PureRef. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different. Trying to find a reference for something. Yeah, there we go. That gets the point across. It's stuff like this I always enjoy drawing, like little funny bits. Has anyone seen that K-pop Demon Hunters? I don't want to watch that. JJK. Anime Jujutsu Kaisen. Yo, what up? Down. Yeah, let me go back. Not sure what's happening, but welcome, Anime Jujutsu Kaisen 19. Welcome. Just combine like that, and then draw him in the background. What up, Anime Source Central? Yo, it's good. But yeah, JJK, Down, Dragon Ball Z. I sub and I like and sub. Yo, appreciate that. We are supporters of all those. It's actually funny you bring up Down and JJK. There was somebody who was saying that recent manga hasn't been, or recent stuff hasn't been good. I think I dropped a video on it. No, I recorded a video on it. I think you guys will like it. I'm gonna be releasing some of these videos. Like today, I'm gonna be releasing the Snyder cut. Now I'm just looking. I'm gonna be releasing the Ruthless Render video. So you guys will get to see that. AKA Backstrap Man. Oh, you changed your name. What up, dude? Long time no talk to. What made you change your name? Yeah. I was asking what made you change your name? Taking this thing a little bit more serious now. Anime Source Central. I understand. Finding the right branding, finding the right thing is always good. It's always good. We've been going for an hour and 22 minutes. I'm gonna call it, everybody. Appreciate everybody coming here. We're not gonna leave quite yet, but I want to make sure I do go over a couple of things, man. I enjoyed your new video on the Viz manga. Yeah, and we're gonna be going over a lot of topics like that, right? We're gonna be talking about a lot of things like that too. We're gonna be going over not just that one, but we're talking about a bunch of different things. Like I was telling people earlier too, Anime Source. We're going to be going in just discussing things about that, and it's just going to be my take. A lot of people are going to like it, a lot of people are not going to like it. That's okay, whatever. But yeah, no, we're mainly going to be just talking about stuff like that. I'm getting ready to drop my first video, a four-part video for Ruthless Render today. I'm actually going to drop that here in the next 10 minutes or whenever I get off here. I got to upload it and do the whole 9. But yeah, no, very good, solid points that I had inside of it. I think that the story itself can be good. I'm still going to read it. I'm still going to review it. I think that it's important as a mangaka to study the works that become popular or become serialized, even studying all of the works that are in the indie space. There's a lot of works to be studied, and we can always learn something from reading more. Reading less just puts us in a box, which can be good in some cases if you're trying to get across a certain idea. But reading more is always going to open your horizon, open your scope of things, and yeah. But yeah. If you guys haven't, go check out this manga. I'm actually going to read this today. Now that we draw, very great manga, very great story. Enjoying it so far. This book just came in the mail, along with a couple other books as well. So yeah, go check that out. And before we hop off, I'm always going to tell you guys, go grab your copy of Penguinboy. We only have 10 volumes left out of the 100 that I did have. We only have 10 volumes left. They are still selling. We are still putting these out there. You get over 200 plus pages of content. You get a lot of works. And as I create more volumes, I'm going to create better volumes, better books and stuff like that. But this book has been well put together. There are a couple errors in here, which is okay, but it's not the end of the world. It's still readable, still great story, still great cast of characters. So everything. So yeah, go pick up a copy of Penguinboy from Lamento.net, and yeah, go check out the other stories. Psy-Q drops at 5 p.m. EST. Go check that out. Go leave a comment, and feel free to submit to Lumento. Turn in a one shot if you want to try and join the ranks of what we're doing, what we have going on. And if you create a manga yourself and you'd like for me to read it and kind of give my overview, kind of give my criticism, the things I like and stuff like that, shoot me a DM on social media. I'd be more than happy to read it, more than happy to check it out, and just kind of go from there. Other than that, everybody, Penguin Nation, my nation of penguins, appreciate you guys being here. We're trying to get to 1K. Be sure to sub. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off and go do a couple other things. You guys have a good rest of your night. Until tomorrow. I don't normally stream past Thursdays, but I'm just gonna stream a couple days past Thursday, and then we're gonna pick back up streaming Sunday through Thursday again around 3 p.m. The source is that. Take care, everybody. Be safe. As Karuto would say if he was here, stay safe and strong. Peace out.